So Canon has just dropped the 45mm f1.2 STM lens, and unlike most of our expectation for such numbers, this lens is dirt cheap and even quite compact. The funny thing is that if you're a Fuji GFX shooter adapting EF lenses or probably any other brand of lenses, you've already had this lens with you for a long time. Let's dive in. So first, I got to know the 45mm f1.2 as a writer for Cinedy, which is my professional home. I write articles there, and I'll of course link to it in the description. So if you want the full specs and article and whatever there is to know about the new lens, yeah, just go there. Cinedy aren't sponsoring this video in any form or mean, but I do write for them and I do get paid. So yeah, maybe they're never mind. Anyway, the 45 f1.2 harkens back to a bygone era where fast, compact primes had quite impressive aperture settings, but weren't never as sharp at those aperture at 1.4, even 1.8. Of course, not at f1.2, but they do compensate for that in a very sharp f4, f5.6, f8 setting. So you would have to choose if you want this kind of dreamy look, kind of blurred with aberrations and whatnot, for the wide aperture, and the more technical, clinical look for the more modest aperture. I actually kind of grew up on such a lens. It was Canon's 58 f1.8 and then f1.4. Both lenses are what you would call a double Gauss or a planar design. Very simple design, very compact lenses. And yes, not too sharp at f1.4. This also goes in a way to Canon's 50 f1.2 EF version, but ever since they got into the RF mount, they started with a 50 f1.2, which is an extremely sharp and technical lens, and then the 50 f1.4, only having the 50 f1.8 at a very cheap price with very modest optical performance. What we would call the nifty 50, because it's very small, it's very light. Everybody should have one in their bag. But now they went the opposite way. They just announced a 45mm lens with an f1.2 aperture, which is mostly reserved to the highest of lenses at every manufacturer. You wouldn't find a Nikon f1.2 lens at an affordable price. Same goes for Sigma, same goes for whoever makes these kind of lenses. And this is what makes Canon's choice very interesting to me. And of course, as much as the next fella, I really like my lenses to be compact and affordable. But this comes with a price. It comes, in terms of the new 45, it comes with much slower autofocus motor. It will work for video because it's smooth, and it probably be as fast as you would need from a video without having kind of a Sony look when the focus just jumps very quick. And also, it won't be as sharp at f1.2. But if you're okay with these compromises, you'll have a 45, which is much closer to the real normal lens for a full-frame sensor, at an astounding f1.2, capable of extreme performance in low light, capable of extreme shallow depth of field. By the way, you can watch my recent depth of field video, probably over here or over there. So yeah, it's a very interesting lens. But the funny thing is that us, as the small community of those weirdos who adapt full-frame lenses onto GFX, we already had this lens. And some of you may say, yeah, it's the 55 f1.7, which is, in a sense, equivalent to around 45mm f1.3, I think. But that lens costs 10 times as much as the lens I'm about to show, and probably 5 times as much, or 2.5 times as much as the Canon. I'm not sure what the price is. No, I think it's 5 times as much. Anyway, it's actually a Canon lens, and this is the Canon 50 1.4 USM I think that's it. That's the name. It's, I think, the oldest lens still in production today. I think it's the first. It first appeared in 1991 or 1987. I'm not quite sure, but it's one of these. It's an extremely old design, and the optical design itself is, I think, over almost 200 years old, or way over 100 years old, with Carl Zeiss planar design, which is impeccable. You can also see it here in the 80 f2.8 on the Hasselblad, which is about the same lens, but for another time. Anyway, the oldest of designed, the oldest of lenses that I own, and it's highly compact. It's 1.4, which probably puts it at around 1.1 in terms of equivalency, but it doesn't cover the sensor to the fullest of the corners. I usually take the 4x5 or 6x7 crops with it, which gives it a bit more compression, a bit more tele-reach, which puts it in a way with the same field of view as 45 on full frame, though the frame shape, the crop itself is different. And yeah, it's quite quick to focus. Now you can, I don't know if you can see or hear it, and I don't have the fancy recorders that do that, but you'll have to trust me. It's pretty quick to focus when it catches focus, and this is adapted to a whole different camera system with a whole different adapter. It will probably work much faster in other cameras, but it's plenty fast for my needs. I'd say it's a tad slower than Fujifilm's own 50f3.5, which is quite fast in the Fuji lineup. And I haven't tried the 55 1.7, but from the 2 or 3 times that I did try it on camera just for like minutes, I didn't experience the focus to be extremely fast or anything. So yeah, an extremely compact lens, not so sharp at the widest apertures, but does give a relatively nice rendering, very soft rendering, and very sharp at f8, at f5.6, at f16. I'll of course play some photos while speaking, so you won't have to see my face all the time. So yeah, Fujifilm users, we do have this magical, wide-ish, normal, extremely fast, not as sharp at the widest aperture, but very sharp at modest apertures lens on our system. And this is the Canon 50 f1.4. I do have a review on it, but I've been revisiting it for the last couple of days, and I think I missed some part in the review. Maybe I'll do another one. There are some other lenses that would probably fit this bill. Nikon 50f1.4's 50f1.8 to the same degree, and other lenses, so it's worth a shot. Go try them on your camera, get the adapter, and find a whole new world of new and interesting lenses. That's it for now. See you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, and let me know how the iPhone did. I was getting some requests about showing the cameras, and I don't have a second camera because just don't do that. So I've been trying my new iPhone. Let me know how it looks, how it sounds. No, let me know how it looks, how it goes. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.